Continuing with interest rate problems, we're going to work some of the more, well, they're just longer than the ones we did in the previous video. So we're going to work number 8 on page 273. Jean borrowed $1,300 to buy tools for her job as an auto mechanic. The loan is for 1 year, 6 months at 9% interest, simple interest. Which of the following expressions could be used to find the amount she will pay back at the end of her loan? So a couple things different here. They don't want the answer. They just want the problem. Please do not skip your steps just because you have multiple choice. Still, especially while we're studying, we want to follow our steps every time. Okay? The second thing to note is we have 1 year, 6 months, so that we haven't seen that before. And then also, we are not just asked to find the interest, we're asked to find how much she will pay back at the end of her loan period. So let's get started and work this out. I want to follow our steps. Remember, our steps are to write the formula. So I equals PRT, that's the first step. Even though it's right there, I know that, but I'm writing, this is on my notebook, see? So, a little bit different. Now we're going to start putting our stuff in. We've got to find the interest, even though that's not my final answer. I still want to find the interest, and then we'll go back and use that to add it back to the principal. So we're looking for I. The principal, how much did she borrow, was $1,300. Then it says she borrowed the loan. The loan was for 1 year and 6 months. So that's 1 year. So put the 1. But remember what we have to do with months. 6 over 12. Now, if you know 6 months is half a year and you want to put it as 1.5, excellent, great, go ahead. But a lot of times we get hung up on converting months to years. So remember, you're timed on the test. It does not take any thinking just to slap it over 12. Okay, then we're going to have the percentage. Remember, I'm not necessarily going in this order because this is the order they gave it to me in the problem, and I can just put it in that way since it's all multiplication. All right, so since we're looking for I, we have no algebra to do. Oh, wait, look, I'm almost getting caught up with myself. So we want to multiply all this together, right? But what are we going to do with our answer? Because they want to know how much they'll pay back at the end of the loan. We're going to take all of that stuff, right, and then add it back to the principal. So I really don't have to go and work this, but I just got to know what I'm doing. So let's go look at our answer choices. So we've got 1,300 times 1.5 times 0.09. Well, you know what? That's just that. 1.5 is that. And 0.09, remember I told you you'd have to change it to a decimal or a percent. So that's the 9%. So that's just finding the interest. That can't be our choice. Then B is the same thing, but instead of 0.09, they just put 9. Remember I told you cannot do that. You have to have the percent or a fraction or a decimal. So that can't be our choice. And then C, you're adding. So we said we wanted to add some stuff, but check what they have in parentheses. So they have 1,300 times 9. Nope, can't do it. So that's going to leave us with D. 1,300 plus, and then you're adding the answer to what we have here, 1,300 times 0.09 times the 1.5. And hopefully you can make the connection that 1 6/12 is 1.5, and the 9% would be the 0.09. If it bothers you, use your calculator to change it to a decimal. So you put 1 6/12 in. Let's just do that together. So 1 second N over D, 6 over 12. Okay, then we're going to say second F to D, enter. And there's your 1.5. F to D stands for fraction to decimal. All right, and if the 9% to the 0.09 bothers you, then do what I showed you on the calculator, second percent sign, and then just hit enter, and there's your 0.09. Okay, but hopefully you can make the connection. And just be careful. They ask a lot of questions where they really don't want the answer worked out. They just want you to pick out the problem. All right, let's look at number 10. Caleb borrowed $1,500 from his aunt. He plans to pay his aunt back in 9 months. If he pays 4% interest on the loan, what is the total amount he will pay back in 9 months? So 2 things. They gave it to us in months, and they want the total amount he'll pay back. Write your formula, I equals PRT. Now, we're looking for interest, but we're going to have to do something with it. So our principal is $1,500. We got 9 months, so I'm putting that over 12. And our interest rate is 4%. If you don't like it like that, change it to a decimal. You know how to do that. Plug all that into your calculator. And 4%. And you get 45. Okay. But that's not how much he pays back because he borrowed the $1,500. So you got to have your $1,500 plus your $45. Well, 45 is already in my calculator, so hit your add, $1,500, and there's your choice, B. All right? So that one's not too bad. Just got to watch it and read it all the way through. Now, last one we're going to do together is number 11. It's got a chart on there. Number 11, Charlotte needs to borrow $2,400. She is considering the 3 loan options shown above. Here's your options. So you got A, 2.5 years, B, 3 years, and so on, okay? How much more interest would Charlotte pay if she takes loan C instead of A? How much more means subtraction, right? So, but wait, you can't just take these numbers and subtract them. No. So this is going to be a more than one step problem. First, we're going to have to use our I equals PRT for choice C and A. Get those, get the answers, and then subtract them. So let's get started. I equals PRT. All right, choice C is 4 years. Thankfully, they gave us in years. And 9%. And they're borrowing $2,400. Notice I'm just putting it down because it's just all multiplied together. And you plug that in, so it's 4 times 9 times $2,400, and that's $864. That's how much interest they pay. Now we'll go to A. A is I equals PRT. Write it down. We're looking for I, and you got 2.5 years. And you got 12%, and you still got $2,400 that the person borrowed. So you put that in, so it's 2 second N over D, 1/2 per times 12% times 2,400, and that's 720. Now wait, we're not done. It said how much more will they pay if they take C instead of A. So I need to take 864 and subtract it by 720. But I'm going to tell you a trick that I do. You don't have to do it. 720 is already in there. I'm going to say minus 864, even though I know that's the bigger number and it shows negative, but I'm just disregard that, take the absolute value of that. And that is choice B, $144 more. Okay? So hope this helps.